Buenas tardes, everybody. Okay, this time it's about after having created a virtual machine in Hyper-V, how can we SSH into that Hyper-V virtual machine from the host machine? Let's begin. All right, so we're going to start with the virtual switch manager. Oh, just to start, right now I'm in the host machine, my desktop computer. This is a desktop computer terminal here. And yeah, so we're in Hyper-V. This is a virtual machine that we're going to be working with. But before we start, we first have to create a virtual switch. By default, there is a default switch, but that is not going to work. We need to create a switch that is external. Click on the button, create. And I just left everything as is. You may have more than one option here. For me, it was just this one. That's it. Click apply. Oh, well, I suppose you could give it a name, so I'm going to give it a name: external virtual switch. Apply. Warning message: yes, continue. And applying changes. Waiting for that to, okay, there we go. Click OK. And now I'm going to go to the demo virtual machine that I'm going to show you how to do this with. Before we connect, we need to go to settings, network adapter for this virtual machine, and change it from the default switch to the one that we just created that's an external virtual switch. Apply. OK. And let's connect. Connect. Start. Booting up the virtual instance, this virtual machine of Cachy OS that I'm trying out for the first time for the past couple of days. I don't think it's been a week yet, but I'm liking it because KDE and Arch Linux, right? How can you say no? What a fine combo. Okay, is it done yet? There we go. Let's log in. I was about to say. All right, here we go. I was gonna say the password out loud, but I did not. So I am in the clear. Okay, come on now. Okay, we're in. And I'm gonna minimize that. Don't need that. I'm gonna open up. What do I want to open up first? Oh, yeah, let's. So this is a fresh install of Cachy OS. So it comes packaged with here, let's see, firewall. This it comes with this app, and the full name for, like, if you were to start this from the terminal, that would be let's see, firewall uh config. Yeah, and oh, I think it needs to be sudo. Because again, fresh install. So I think this is the first time I've sudoed on this fresh installation. There you go. So yeah, this application is from the command line. You start it up with firewall config, and well, while we have this open, uh, the zone that we're in is public. I think that's supposed to be the most restrictive one. And to verify that, let's see. Let's go back here. Open a new tab. Let's first get, well, let me close that. Let me close this. Let's first get the firewall daemon up and running. So let me look at my command list, which is a whole bunch of commands that I ran earlier. And the one that I want to try, oh, no, not this one. First, we're going to see, just to show that it's installed, you can use pacman. Yeah, there it is. Oh, no, that's for OpenSSH. But yeah, we do need to show, like, let's say this is your first time using Cachy OS. You don't know if it has what it needs to get it up and running to set your firewall. You can check, it needs, we need OpenSSH to connect via SSH, so let's just check that. Hit enter. And if you get feedback, that means it has it. So yeah, like let's say you did the word, I don't know, dog. That's not an application, right? So if it's not on there, it won't find it. So because it gave us all this feedback, that means the program's on here. The next thing we want to do is to get the status on SSH since it's here. Sudo ctl status SSHD, the SSH daemon, and super secret password. So it is not active, so let's turn it on. So then the next thing is to see, not status, but start. Okay, it started. And if we do status now, you see that it's running. But notice that right here, the service status disabled. What that means is that when you start up the machine, it doesn't start this service up when you start the machine up. So if you want that to happen, then you want to use enable. So enable. And then check status again. And now it says enabled instead of disabled, right? So now when you start the machine up, this virtual machine up, it'll the SSH daemon will be up and running. All right, is there anything else we need to do with this? I think that covers that. I think now we can finally switch over to configuring the firewall. The next thing we get to do is, okay, oh yeah, let's go back to the firewall config. So sudo firewall config. All right, so I'm just going to put this over here. Move this over a little bit. And go back to this tab. So what I wanted to show is, okay, so there's different zones that you can use, and I think if I remember correctly, public is the most restrictive one. We can see what it looks like for public if we I don't even know what's that. How do we list? Oh, so we go to find the one that says public. List all. There we go. That's the one I want to use. Pretty sure. Sudo and so config is for this GUI over here on the side. But if you're working from the command line, then instead of -config, you use -cmd. And we want to see what's being allowed in the public zone. There we go. Public list all. And for services, we have two things. That, whatever that is, I don't know. I'm not well versed in these things. But it's a service that's currently allowed for public, and SSH is allowed as an allowed service. So to verify that, yeah, let's just check over here. So public. So this is the graphic representation of what we saw here. And we're going to scroll. This is alphabetical, so we're going to scroll down to the S's, specifically SS's. A and PS. Okay, let's use the wheel. There it is. So SSH. So we can see that it is active. So yeah, you can use the graphic interface. Let's say it wasn't on. While this is handy, it is a big list, and it might be quicker, or you might prefer working from the terminal to switch services on and off. So let's see, where's the one for SSH? Add service. Okay, so that's to add the service, but I should have one for remove service. There it is. To show that you'll see the graphic, the GUI version. See, you'll see that checkbox go bye-bye. I'm just clicking on the one above it so that you can see the checkbox more clearly clear out when I enter this remove service. Sudo firewall cmd remove service SSH. So when I hit enter here, this should update. Survey says yes. Okay, cool. I wasn't wrong. Now to add it, you may have seen it in the list. We're using this, but this time we're doing add service. And again, you should see that checkbox. Click on. Yes. Okay. So I think we're all set to try and SSH into this computer. Oh, yeah, let's get the IP address. Hey. And for this machine is that number. So let me see, how can I, is this far enough to the right so that I can see it when I click on this? So this is the virtual machine, right? This whole window. That's right, I forget that Windows does that when you shake a window, it minimizes all the other windows. But let's get the terminal and try entering that this address, the IP address for this virtual machine, and see if we can connect. Okay, all right. So SSH. Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna hit enter. Yay! It looks like it's working. And that's how you do it. This is right there. This is, inside Cachy OS, right? What more proof do you need? Yeah. So what did we have to do to recap? We had to create a virtual switch that's external, right? That was just really quick, nothing crazy there. The thing that required a little elbow grease was here, and not that much, right? It's just, yeah, it's not so much that it's difficult. It's just knowing the steps that you need to take to get there. And if you'll remember, it was turning on SSH, which is let me see, where's my notes. Maybe I can bring that into screen. So yeah, just checking to see if it isn't already on. Get the status of the SSH daemon. If you don't have it, you can install it. That's the install command. And then once you know you have the application, start the daemon service, right? And enable it so that when the service will turn on at boot, and just get the status to verify that it's up and running. Once you have the virtual switch, and then you start at the virtual machine, and you turn on the SSH daemon, that should be it, because a fresh install of Cachy OS apparently has it set default to public zone, and it already has SSH turned on. But just know that even though this is turned on, you got to make sure that the SSH daemon is running. That should do it. Thank you for watching.